Hey there guys, and welcome to the channel. My name is Scorpso3, and if you haven't been here before, we're going to talk about some of the new games that have been coming out. I've got a new one today, and yep, it is called Off the Grid.
We off the grid.
I really hadn't heard about this game. I think I saw a trailer a long time ago, and it actually looked pretty good. But what I didn't realize at the time was that obviously what we're looking at today is it's a blockchain based game, an NFT based game. Like it, not like it, that's totally up to you. But yeah, it is based on NFT technology, blockchain, and it's by a creator and a publisher, and a developer called Gunziller Games. And I've honestly never heard of them. Maybe they've made some games. If you know who they are, chuck it down in the comments below, let us know. But yeah, they've brought out a new extraction style battle royale, and it looks really interesting to me. So I thought today we'll check it out and we will talk about, it's obviously in beta, so it's a little bit rough around the edges, but we just want to talk about the performance of it, the graphics, the sound, the gameplay, a little bit of the story behind it, and to be honest, it actually looks pretty good and it plays pretty well. So let's get into it, let's check it out, and feel free to, if you've played it, checked it out, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Let's get into it. Let's go.
It took a lot of hard work, but we finally completed it. And we are ready for our first globally broadcast Battle Royale! Welcome to the ultimate real-life gaming arena! It's all the thrill of online shooters, but in the real world! Holy shit! And you stand a chance of winning up to $100 million!
Obviously, this is going to attract everyone, not just ex-soldiers.
This is like Hunger Games happening in real life.
Players must undergo surgery in order to play.
They cut off your limbs, and they grow back by regen. And then they give you these cybernetic combat limbs and set you loose to go out and slaughter all your opponents. These people are just regular folks who have opted into total madness.
Technicians can literally resuscitate soldiers from death. Even extreme fatalities.
They can regrow the patient from base tissue.
Okay, well, this is our floating surgical ship. It's where we bring our fallen players. And then within a couple of days, they're out playing again.
How much worse is this going to get? Are you really going to say nothing in defense of this despicable island of depravity that you are personally responsible for? What the? Oh my God, am I going insane? What's going on here? Oh, wow!
I fucking love this shit.
Welcome to the world's first real Battle Royale! You think you're tough? Sign up. Come on down to the island. Come test yourself for real.
Welcome to pre-match. This is where you try your hand at killing before the match.
So let's get into the performance of the game. Now, obviously it's just in beta, so you are going to expect that there is going to be some issues with the game. And to be honest, there isn't really that much wrong with the game in terms of bugs and stability, I guess. And it really does depend. I did have some issues, which I'll talk about later on, but in terms of performance, it definitely needs optimization, don't get me wrong. But I am on a 5800 X3D and a 3080 10 gig, and I tried a lot of different performance methods, and I had to go down to medium, really just for it to get a half decent frame rate up around the 70 to 80 frames, but it was quite sporadic. Sometimes I'd be dropping down to 40, especially when flying in, and but the game actually ran quite well, I guess, for what's happening on the screen, because there is quite a lot happening on the screen at once. And you'll see my frames per second counter up in the top right hand corner there if you want to check that out for reference. You'll see that it just hovers around 60 frames while playing usually, and that's why I'm recording as well, you got to remember. So if you're not recording, my frames do pick up a little bit, but it feels like there's some sort of cap there on the frames. But when you see what's happening on the screen, and it does look quite good even when you drop it down to medium and you change DLSS to like balanced instead of quality, whereas I would usually run a game. It does pick up the frames a little bit, and it doesn't really change how it looks that much. So it is quite playable, but you do need sort of a beefy PC to a degree to be able to play this. But I feel a lot of optimization obviously needs to be done, and you'll see that I played around with the optimization quite a bit at times just to see if I could get it running a bit better than what it was. But graphically it is quite a nice game to look at. I'm not sure what engine this game is on, but I do like the water. It does look quite good, especially when there's a fair bit of action going on around you. It doesn't look too bad. And for a beta, yeah, pretty good. Probably one of the better betas that I've played this year. And yeah, it's quite good, and you do get the options, which is even better. One of the issues that I did have was that I couldn't play full screen and drop the resolution to a point. It wouldn't allow you to play full screen and drop the resolution. You had to go into window mode. And window mode worked okay, worked fine, but I found that my mouse would disappear off the edge of the screen and disappear into my desktop and into my wallpaper and click on programs and stuff while I was playing it. I'm not sure why that's the case. It's probably just something they need to tweak. But when I was streaming, I had to drop the resolution, and you'll see now this is me playing at 5680 or whatever it is, 5120 by 1440p on my 49-inch monitor. And you'll see the frames. It might be a bit small to see the frames, but I just wanted to test this out to see what it ran like. And it honestly didn't run too bad. It actually looks better than how it was playing, to be honest. So it recorded better than how it felt playing. But you do get stutters. It's not like it's running at 40 frames right here as I'm flying in. So it's really not playable if you want to be competitive. But if you just want to have a shoot, just have some fun, yes, maybe playable. But yeah, I probably wouldn't recommend this. But if I'm not streaming and I drop the resolution down, it actually wasn't too bad. It actually was kind of playable. So we'll just drop the resolution back down. Now we're back to 2560 by 1440, which went down to balanced on DLSS. And you're going to have to play with it, I'll be honest. You're going to have to play with it. This game's not going to... it's not going to really pick the right settings for you, I don't think. So, but I think you can get it to run good. You can. But don't look at the gameplay too much here. This is all the skill of the gameplay, which there is 0. But in terms of the audio is really good. I found myself hearing stuff happening behind me and footsteps, and I could turn around and actually visually pick up where the directional sound is coming from. So that's quite good for a BR, especially for a beta. And just the sounds in general. The only thing I could say about the sounds too much is that the music is very loud. You almost have to turn it off, especially in the menus. It's extremely loud, and in the video clip soundtrack part, they're quite loud. So yeah, you kind of do need to work on that. But overall, the sound's pretty good. Sounds pretty good. But in terms of the game itself and the idea and the premise behind it, it's an interesting game. I actually don't mind the way that they promote this game. It's kind of like a cyberpunk, Call of Duty, sort of a load of different games all mashed together. Bit of Rainbow Six maybe. The gameplay feels quite good, like a Rainbow Six. Yeah, it's actually quite an interesting premise, and it gets you kind of interested in the game. So yeah, I actually don't mind it, and it is a fun game to play, I'm not going to lie. I decided to just play for a little bit and see what it was like, and 2 hours later I was still sitting here, still playing. Still tweaking it to get it right so it was playable, and I felt like I wanted to come back and keep playing, so that's a good sign. The game is, or the beta is free at this point in time, so you can jump on and play. There is in-game currency, and it does look like there's some sort of blockchain backing of this game, so there will be some pay-to-win elements, I've got a feeling. But I don't think that really takes out the fact that it is quite an enjoyable game. You can jump in, start playing, and enjoy it straight off the bat. Nothing really seems too overpowered or anything at the moment. Players that have been playing earlier do have a bit of an advantage, obviously, just these early days. But you're going to get that in pretty much any game. Yeah, it seemed like I struggled there to get my jetpack to switch back on. That's just through my uselessness. And I think I make a meal of this. I absolutely make a meal. And I don't play first-person shooters, so it just is terrible, which it is. This is just me jumping in as a rookie, so this is what it would look like if you were a rookie coming into play. But yeah, so other than that, I tried a couple of different things. I played by keyboard, and keyboard was okay. There's a lot of buttons to remember, and it's just a little bit different to like a normal first-person shooter, I guess. There's a lot of different functions that you can do. And you got to think a little bit more about what you have and the tools you have on hand, because you've got cybernetic arms and cybernetic legs, do a whole range of different things. So you just got to be aware of what you got, I think, is the key. So it can get a little complex in that area. But yeah, like I said, it's a good premise though. It is a good premise. And so I tried on keyboard. Keyboard's okay. There's a lot of buttons to remember. And then I moved on to controller because I thought I would give controller a go. And it honestly felt easier to play on keyboard and mouse. Maybe I'm a rookie on controller, and pros will probably be a lot better. But you got to really tweak the controls too at this point in time. So you got to set your the speed of your mouse and the speed of your controllers for the looking and the zooming, all that type of stuff. But like the base game is here, and the base game is quite enjoyable. It's pretty cool. And you'll see with that loot box there that say if my teammate opens it, I can come in and open it as well. It doesn't actually like empty it, so you got nothing left, and then you can't open it again. There's no recharge on them. After you open it, there's a recharge, but not if your teammate opens it. Then you can still open it too. So yeah, a couple of issues that I did have, I might just talk about those. Obviously just trying to get it tweaked right was a little bit of an issue. Didn't take too long. Nothing out of the ordinary. One issue that I did have, and this could just be my PC and the massive amount of USB devices that I have plugged in. I had an issue where, geez, that guy destroyed me fast. I had an issue where the all my USB devices were just going ballistic. They just kept, in my headphones, they just kept dropping out and then reinstalling, or like reactivating again and then dropping out and reactivating again, and like, and it absolutely just froze my game up. I don't know why that was. I've never really had that in any other game. It could be an anti-cheat thing. I'm not 100% sure. It didn't matter whether I was on controller or whether I was on keyboard and mouse, which mine are wireless. Yeah, it just kept dropping out. All of my USB devices would drop out, and then they would all reinstall again, and then I'd be okay for a little bit, and then it would drop out. And it even got so bad that it disconnected me from a game once. So I'm not sure if that would happen to anyone else, but for me, that's what happened. So, but I don't hold that against the game. Could be my PC, so take that for what it's worth. You'll see there's some hexes up the top there in the top left-hand corner. Those hexes are how you unlock like weapons, and you have to use the in-game currency to unlock the hexes, which then unlock your attachments. I did it a bit after playing when I was trying to fix my USB problem, and that was quite interesting. So you have to earn the currency or pick up the hexes, earn the currency to unlock them to get adjustments. So to get adjustments for your weapons and unlock weapons and upgrades for your arms and your legs, which is pretty cool. So this is me adjusting the settings for everything because it was quite sensitive when you first jump in. And I was also tweaking a few things here, just trying to get the game to run a little bit better and a little bit easier. But outside of that, you know, like I found it a really good game, and I think it will be something that's quite enjoyable moving forward. Once they get the performance down and it's running smooth, you'll see here's the controller settings, and there's quite a lot to remember. Like look at all those buttons. But yeah, so once they get the performance down, and maybe there's a few minor bugs rolling around, which don't seem like a lot for a beta, to be honest. It's a pretty well-run beta. Yeah, once they get all that down, I think it'll be a really good game. I think it will be really interesting, and I think you guys will like it. If you're into first-person shooters, if you're into like Elysium, the movie, bit of Blade Runner, all these different type of stuff involved. Yeah, I think you guys will enjoy it. So check it out. It's free to download on the Epic Games store. You have to download the Epic launcher, unfortunately, and you will be obviously have anti-cheat on there as well. But outside of that, I think you guys will enjoy it. So I'll leave you guys with some gameplay, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.
We're gonna go to 90% today. Whenever you're ready, on your own time.
Okay.
Outstanding.
Okay, good.
You know how it works. The last team standing wins. Blah, blah, blah. Get to work, Zeros. I'm gonna need you to line up like a bunch of goddamn ducks on parade and jump out of this goddamn plane.
Let's check this area out. Yeah, looks nice. I'll join you there.
Sufficient funds, loadout drone available. Updating the drivers. The skunk paw arm installed.
Let's check this area out.
Let's check this area out.
Armor fully loaded.
Enemy down!
Oh,
Let's
shit.
check
We
this
got a
area
grid
out.
overload.
Your team has eliminated the last enemy in their squad.
All right, folks, Kobe here with another announcement. The grid overload is starting faster than you can say no more.
Check the slam fist.
Limb pairing. Teammate injured.
All right, slow your roll, you spineless shit monkey. The grid is on hold. Take a breath. Do some yoga while you still can.
Teammate eliminated by enemy.
Let's check
I
this
heard
area
you might
out.
be interested in a little tactical advantage delivered your way.
Eyes here. Thumpers.
Teammate redeployment successful. Armor plates require resupply. Vital signs improving. Alert, you are hit.
For all of you room temperature IQ assholes, don't let the grid touch you or you're dead. Got it? Oh, I'm afraid to report that the grid overload zone's approaching.
Wounded teammate detected. Killed. Teammate killed. Teammate eliminated by
If you
enemy.
weren't fucking dead, I would shoot you myself for that horrendous performance.